Hello everyone, Hawky here, back with another Sword of Convallaria video. So in my previous video, I was talking about using the Tarot Codex to get a really strong magician, like magician or justice. And someone was asking, like, is getting magician with the 4 special substat really that worth it? Should we go for a 4th line magic attack instead? So I was thinking, let's do a bit of comparison. The only really similar one I have here is I have this 16% magician with 55 flat stat there, and we can compare this to a 9% magic attack, 60 flat, and then the special stat. The difference between these two is pretty much 7% magic attack, so 7% versus like an 8% damage. Is it really that worth it, right? We're just running this with my Marcille here. We'll just go like single target against the dummy and yeah, see how we go, right? So let's jump into our dummy testing stage and compare the damage, right? So why is it lagging? Alright, so let's just skip through all this, go through single target and just compare Marcille's damage here. We do want to move a little bit, so let's just do like a close-up explosion. 20k, right? 26k, really strong. So that Marcille was sitting at 4,511 magic attack. So let's swap for the other one with the special substat and see what the difference is. So 4,397, definitely lower magic attack. But let's see if that does make the difference in damage, right? So let's go through this again. And then we go close up and personal with the dummy. Like, I'm pushing my Marcille to 5-star, but I don't really recommend it. She is definitely really strong here. 26k, pretty much the same, right? Looking back, there's barely any difference. Like, what, 200 damage difference? So I made some adjustments. Now we're going to try with attack 2 from Taia. So Marcille has higher damage. Let's see what the damage is here. 31k. And let's try with just damage 2 by itself from Taia. 28k. And now let's do it with both damage 2 and attack 2 here from Taia. So let's see how much this explosion is. 33k. So that's what we're sitting at the moment, and let's change to the magician with the special stat. So we've got our special stat magician, and we're looking at attack 2. Let's see our damage here. 31,247. And now with damage 2, so we're going close. Explosion. 28,541. And now we both have damage 2 and attack 2 here. Let's see our damage from this. 33,714. And honestly, looking at this, it's still pretty much about the same, right? 8% damage compared to like 7% attack. Like, you don't really see much difference at all. But remember, we're only hitting a single target, right? And once we hit more targets, once we hit another additional target, it goes up by another 8%. Up to 24% max. So special stat with magician, as long as you're hitting 2 targets, you're definitely going to be higher. But if you don't have the special stat, you're hitting 1 target, honestly, pretty much the same. There's minor differences, but it's basically a rounding error, right? I'll just double check with this Shield of Justice instead of Blood Luxite Necklace and see the difference. Alright, so let's go with Shield of Justice. Do the same setup, initial explosion, 25k. So slightly less than the Blood Luxite Necklace. May as well bring Taia. Here's the attack 2, 3547. With damage 2 now, 28,295. And both the damage 2 and attack 2 here, 33,259. So we could see pretty similar values of Shield of Justice there. And now we'll go with the special stat magician. The explosion by itself, 27,485. Now with attack 2. Man, I'm not counting the crits, am I? Okay, let's start the Shield of Justice testing again. I feel like that's the only time I crit with Marcille on the whole video. So let's delete this, and that was 26,176, right? Yeah. Now with attack 2. 38,229. Now with damage 2. 28,520. And now we're looking at this with attack 2 and damage 2. So this is big damage. 33,471. So with comparing both of these magicians, like, there's basically no difference. Like, this extra 8% damage from the special stat is equivalent to like 8% magic attack on the last line if you're like min-maxing. This one is might be like 1 to 2% better than this one at a single target level. But overall, if you're hitting another target, if you're hitting 2 targets, then the special stat magician is just going to be better. And there's like virtually not much difference. Like, what's that? 200 damage difference, like, because we're comparing, you know, that it's slightly different. I couldn't match exact values. 200 damage difference, 200, what's that? And pretty much 200 as well. That is like 200 damage, 200, yeah, 200. Yeah, like, I feel like you should always get the special stat. And yeah, this is what I ended up getting. This insane damage. Actually, we should test out this max one. And I was just comparing the attack stats and everything. I was definitely doing more damage with the Blood Luxite necklace over Shield of Justice. So this is what we'll max out with. Explosion by itself. Attack 2. Damage 2. And attack 2 and damage 2 together. 35k. Yeah, insane. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Look at the comparisons, and I think that's fairly accurate. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I think Marcille's AoE damage is pretty insane. Like, we don't even need to buff her up. Just give her 1 energy, and then at start of battle, we just spam, right? Huge spam. And she's very consistent, like self-sufficient. Just comes through, spam again. Man, I really want to 5-star her and 5-star her Astral Imprint. Just need 1 more. But yeah, just a slow grind. And then she can keep going, right? Run out of energy. Okay, I'll leave it there. See you guys.